Hello Kaiju fans of all kinds, I'm back with another video. Recently on my Instagram I did a poll on which Godzilla figure I should review next, between Bandai Pink Tag Anguirus 2004 and the Bandai Godzilla Island series Mechagodzilla. And Mechagodzilla won, so this is his review. Before we actually get to the figure, as usual, we're going to talk about the tag first. This is just a standard Godzilla Island series tag. For those who don't know, Godzilla Island series was this show that ran in the 90s in Japan. It was basically, I've only seen like a couple episodes, and obviously it wasn't subtitled or dubbed or anything, so I didn't know what's going on. They used the Bandai figures for the most part, or newer versions of them, and they're almost like puppets in a way. Some of them are like rubberish. It's weird. It was a thing, I guess. But Bandai decided to make basically a line of figures based off those, even though it's pretty much just the Bandai figures, just usually with a different paint job. But here we have his tag, standard Movie Monster Series tag. We got the silver sticker there. This is Godzilla Island series there. Got a picture of Super Mechagodzilla, not from Godzilla Island series, from the actual movie. This is just Mechagodzilla. Did I just say Super Mechagodzilla? Technically it's not yet, but we have just Mechagodzilla GO4, because I think this was the fourth figure in the line. And more Japanese writing. Pretty sure it says Mechagodzilla in Japanese. All the Godzilla Island series tags look like this on the inside. We got one of the characters from the show. He was pretty funny. And a bunch of stuff I can't read. On the back, we just have, they all look like this. We got Godzilla, the villain of the show. She's holding a thing. The hot lady from the show. The general guy again. Rem from Ultraman Geed. And, no, not really. But, well, actually, technically, this came out before Ultraman Geed, so Rem looks a lot like that little thing. I don't remember what. Also, this was a he, actually. But, yeah, so tag's pretty cool. Now, this is one of the figures from the line that pretty much just looks the same. Like, you couldn't, like, let's say this thing didn't have a tag on it, you couldn't tell if this was the original or the Godzilla Island series. Now, I'm going to quickly get something out of the way real quick. You'll probably realize he's definitely leaning a lot. That's because this is one of my, probably my least, out of all my figures, is probably in the worst condition. It still had the tag and everything, which, by the way, the tag isn't in the best condition either. It's not that bad, though. So, if we just zoom in here, I got this from Showcase Tech Kaiju, by the way, for Christmas last year, or 2 years ago. Look at his feet. They are very warped and bent. I feel like I can fix that with a hairdryer, but looks like he's tapping his foot. So he doesn't stand all that well. I think this is like a problem that happens with a lot of people when it comes to this specific sculpt. But he stands. He just leans forward a little bit, and then on his body, he's very leaning. He's a little dirty, and right there, it looks like someone took him apart and glued him together again, or tried to break the glue seal or something. I don't know. It's very yucky looking in there, but overall, he's not in the worst condition, but not very good either. But for sculpt and detail, we got pretty nice. You know, it's just the same sculpt as the original. Going to the head, we can see the teeth in there, nice and sculpted. Not well. I mean, I guess they are painted because in the movie they were silver anyways, so it's not the big deal. Got some detailing there on the cheek. Sorry about that glare on it. All the little tiny spines up here. Actually, the head's pretty nicely detailed. Got some vents in the back. Bunch of little bolts there with this little plate. Going down, we got the big plate with the spines on it, which I never really realized are so small. Got his jet boosters, not painted, but hey, at least this is the original version, so it's not like they took this figure and remade it, but this time didn't put as much paint on it like they did with the Kiryu. I still haven't gotten the jetpack or Kiryu either with the Biollante. I got the Biollante, but didn't get him yet, in case you were wondering. So here we got a little vent on the arm. Well, actually, these were what the, I think it was the, I'll just put whatever the attack was called, but they shot little grenade things out of them. And here we got where the Mega Buster, actually no, the Mega Buster came out of the mouth. The plasma grenade was. Got more vents here. Nice little kind of springy thing on the arm, sort of like the original Mechagodzilla. Hands look nice, fingers look nice. More of the grenade launcher things. Tail looks good with all the little ridges going down, and the spines again. Got more vents. Actually, here they're rocket boosters, and I think this might have helped them fly, I'm not sure. Might have just been a vent or something, I don't know. Here we got some nice detailing on those bolts. And on the feet. kneecaps there. Bottom of the feet actually look pretty good. Like, I'm surprised they did the bottom of the feet. So that's really cool. So, oh, I forgot to mention this right here. This little vent-looking thing. Maybe that's what a suit actor saw out of that. That'd be interesting. So, detail on this guy is actually pretty damn good. Paint job, it's pretty simple. Obviously, it's mostly silver, but for the eyes, we have a yellow gold, shiny. Oh yeah, actually, while I'm talking about it, the head also was a little bit warped on mine. But, alright, let's... back to the paint job, though. It's kind of hard to pick up on camera, but there's little gray shadings of darker silver, or darker gray, I mean. About right there on the neck, and then on the spines you can see it. It's pretty much going all the way down the back. It looks like weathering, I guess. It actually looks pretty cool. I like that. It's not just one simple color, because I know nowadays if they remake this figure, it'll probably just be a very, very bland silver, like the new Kiryu. So then on the spring parts, we got some slightly darker gray. Same with the stomach, or side of the stomach, I guess. It's slightly darker. Like I said, jet boosters aren't painted, but that's not that big a deal, I guess. So yeah, pretty much just silver color all the way through. For size comparison, here we have him compared next to the Tamashi Robot Spirits Gypsy Avenger, and the SH Monster Arts Super Mechagodzilla, who is the best out of all these three, obviously. And this Garuda actually sort of fits in scale. Obviously it's not going to stay on, but yeah, whatever. Here we have him compared next to the Mechagodzilla 1994 and the SH Figuarts Alien Metron. And here we have him compared next to the normal Bandai Pink Tag Godzilla 93 and the Godzilla Island Series Fire Rodan. So these are both from the Godzilla Island Series line. He's just a normal Pink Tag figure. And this is like the cast of, this is almost the entire cast of Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 93, except I'm missing the baby Godzilla. But they only made an 8-inch scale for some reason. Yeah, but this is a good example of one of the Godzilla Island series figures that has a very different paint job than the original. Oops. Because this one's definitely like a lot brighter red. Looks cool though. I kind of like it. Anyways, if you like Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, I'd say this is a pretty good figure. Not, I guess I'd rather probably go with the original, only because it's like the same thing. But I don't think it matters because it is like pretty much the same figure, just with a different tag. But overall, it's a pretty good figure. Not the greatest. I might want to rebuy him because, or buy a different one because mine's very, very kind of dead right now. But if I do buy another one, I'll buy like the original or something. I don't even need to get it with the tag because I already have a tag one, even though the tag's off. But who cares? But I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I'll see you in the next one.